Hey there, CineMaster fans. Hope you're ready for some movie magic. Let's dive right in. The movie begins with a child who is imprisoned in a small room, calling her dad for help. Suddenly, a cement falls from the ceiling, filing the whole room to be buried. After 15 years, we see the engineer Sam, who is on birthday. She has just graduated from the Faculty of Engineering. After blowing out the candles, her father, who owns a company specializing in demolishing massive buildings, calls her. He gives her a gift, the responsibility of supervising the demolition of a very large building. He tells her that if she successfully completes the task, he will make her his partner in managing the company. He also mentions that the building is very special, massive, and uniquely designed. As another gift, he offers her a trip to Europe with her fiancé, Peter, after completing the demolition task. She takes his car and heads to the building, which is in a remote and isolated area. The building was designed by the architect Joseph Mali al-Saraza, who was obsessed with ancient Egyptian civilization. Sam enters the building and meets Mary, the building's caretaker, who lives there with her only son, Jimmy. Mary introduces Jimmy to Sam. Sam asks him to show her the apartment she will stay in until she finishes her task. Jimmy takes her upstairs and informs her that smoking is prohibited throughout the building. He also tells her some rules, including that she must never go to the 8th floor, as it belongs to the architect Joseph, and that going to the roof is also forbidden because it could be dangerous. Later, Sam takes a shower and hears a strange sound coming from behind the bathroom mirror, but doesn't pay much attention. She later meets Mary and asks how many people live in the building. Mary tells her that all the residents have been evacuated except for her, Jimmy, and 2 other residents who refused to leave. The next day, Sam begins analyzing and studying the building's structure to prepare the demolition report for the company. The report will include the locations for placing dynamite, the required quantities, and the weak spots to facilitate the demolition. Feeling hungry, she goes to buy food and asks the shopkeeper if there is a computer with internet access available. The shopkeeper allows her to use her computer. Sam begins researching the building's history and discovers that years ago, a group of people disappeared. Later, it was revealed that they were buried alive in small rooms within the building under the concrete. There were 16 victims, including the architect Joseph, who designed the building. During the investigation, a construction worker was accused of killing the 16 people, but it was later proven he was innocent, and the case was closed as unsolved. When Sam returns to the building, she starts marking the spots for placing the dynamite. Suddenly, someone runs toward her with an axe. It turns out to be one of the residents who refused to leave the building. He is upset because the demolition will leave him homeless. At night, Jimmy secretly takes Sam to the 8th floor without his mother Mary knowing. He tells her about the architect Joseph, who died inside the building's walls, and shows her the spot where Joseph's body was found buried in the wall. He explains that when they found the body, it was unrecognizable because the face was disfigured by the concrete. Mary was the one who identified the body. Jimmy also mentions that among the 16 victims was a little girl named Julie, who we saw covered in concrete at the beginning. He reveals that his father was also one of the victims found in the building and shows her the wall where his father's body was discovered. Suddenly, the lights go out, and Sam gets scared and runs, injuring her leg. Jimmy helps treat her wound and tries to get closer to her, revealing his feelings for her. However, she rejects him, which upsets him, and he leaves. Back in her apartment, Sam notices the mirror on the wall shaking. When she removes it, she finds blood coming from the spot where the mirror was attached. Suddenly, hands pull her into the wall. She wakes up to realize it was a nightmare, leaving her terrified and anxious. She senses someone in her apartment, only to find Peter, her fiancé, who came to check on her. They secretly go to the 8th floor and discover a hidden passage. As they explore, Sam finds holes in the walls used for spying on all the apartments in the building. She realizes that Jimmy had been spying on her in her apartment. She confronts Mary, accusing Jimmy of spying on her. Jimmy feels embarrassed and walks away. When Sam and Peter return to her apartment, Peter suggests they leave the building the next morning, and she agrees. Jimmy overhears their conversation through the walls and feels upset and jealous about Sam. The next morning, Sam packs her bags to leave. She writes the final demolition report and gives it to Jimmy, who apologizes for his actions and offers her a gift, an architectural blueprint of the building drawn by Joseph. Sam notices a large open space in the middle of the building and decides to investigate. Jimmy suddenly disappears, and Sam and Peter search for him. They accidentally find the hidden space in the middle of the building and hear someone calling for help, claiming to be injured. Sam convinces Peter to lower her into the space using a rope attached to the ceiling. However, Peter is attacked, causing him to fall and die. Sam is left in shock and loses consciousness. When she wakes up, she finds herself with someone else in the hidden space. To her surprise, it's the architect Joseph, who is alive and has been trapped there all this time. Jimmy throws her a note from above, expressing his love for her and saying he won't let her leave. He wants her to live with Joseph, whom she admires for his intellect and creativity, until she loves Jimmy as much as he loves her. If she doesn't comply, he threatens to kill her. Jimmy locks them in, ignoring Sam's pleas. He sends the demolition report to her father and disposes of her car in the lake, making it look like she went on the European trip with Peter. Back in the hidden space, Sam is terrified and asks Joseph about Peter, but he ignores her question, knowing that if they don't follow Jimmy's rules, he will kill them both. Jimmy, watching them from above, orders them to dance and follow his commands. Sam cries as Jimmy brings them food and a wireless device. She begs him to let her go, but he refuses, saying he will keep the sunroof open to look at the sky and think about him. After a while, it starts raining. Suddenly, a part of a buried corpse appears. Sam is shocked and screams. When she calms down, Joseph tells her that he has been trapped in this place for years and that Mir took revenge on him for killing a corpse. She imprisoned him here, took his ring, and put it on the deformed corpse. This made the police confirm that he was dead. He tells her he fears her fate might be like his. Sam starts thinking, grabs his tools, and manages to make a sound through the wall. Jimmy and Mary hear her. Mary is shocked to find out that Sam is trapped with Joseph. She gets angry at her son and tells him that what he did could land them in jail. Later, we see Sam trying to deceive Jimmy. She tells him over the radio that she loves him and wants to be by his side. But his father arrives with people from his company to demolish the place. Jimmy tells her he will save her, but Mary overhears and refuses, saying they can't let her out because she might expose them. At that moment, she is locked in. Joseph looks at her and hits her on the head, causing her to lose consciousness. A while later, she wakes up to find her hands tied. Joseph is digging a hole and tells her that the reason for the immortality of temples and buildings is the burial of living people in them. He admits to burying 15 people alive in the building, with one more needed to make it 16. This would ensure the building could never be demolished. He explains that there are cement pipes supporting the place they are in. Meanwhile, Sam's father asks about her, and Mary lies, saying she went on a trip with Peter and hasn't returned. We see Sam managing to untie her hands and grabbing a metal rod. She is shocked when Joseph asks her to kill him. She hesitates, and when she refuses, he threatens to kill her if she lets him live. Out of fear, she quickly kills him. At the same time, Mary and Jimmy leave the building, and the workers prepare to demolish it in 3 minutes. Sam sits in her place, resigned to her fate. Suddenly, Jimmy decides to save her and runs toward the building. Sam's father hears him calling for his daughter and stops the countdown. Everyone rushes toward the building. Mary breaks down in tears. Jimmy and the workers reach the hole and find Sam, with cement covering half of her body. Her father is shocked and tells them to call an ambulance. Jimmy throws himself on the ground beside her, tells her he loves her, and then dies. The ambulance arrives and saves Sam. The police arrest Mary for kidnapping and detaining Joseph. In the end, we learn that Joseph built 27 buildings, all of which still exist to this day. The building they were about to demolish is considered one of the most beautiful designs by Joseph. And that's the end of the movie. Write your opinion about the movie and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive all the new